This is from Friendship with the Gods, from beloved Aries. She's the divine complement of mighty Thor, and they are active in the capacity as the substance of the Earth's atmosphere. And she says, I wonder how many of you have ever thought of a planet without an atmosphere. There could be no human life upon it, and all the various experiments which the peoples are making regarding trips to other planets, as dependent upon scientific research as to the atmosphere in, through, and around those planets. Of course, scientific accuracy is not yet perfected. The understanding that every planet on which life abides has an atmosphere, and that man-made atmosphere, no matter how expensive, will not suffice upon another planet. If the atmosphere were removed, it would do more than all the unpleasant ideas of the atomic age to remove life from this planet. But we have not chosen to do so. No, we have adjusted our atmosphere for you, each and every one, lowering its vibratory action as the earth became more dense, and giving to you as much of our air element as you can absorb. Within that atmosphere is what you call the astral realm, which is quickly being transmuted. Have you thought that each and every one of you carries a personal atmosphere, which is made up of your thinking, feeling selves? Is that atmosphere in accord with the directives of the four elements? Or does your atmosphere vacillate? The vacillation of an individual's atmosphere is the instability in one of the four low vehicles, and in my capacity as the substance of the world's atmosphere, I have to hold that very steady, no matter what creation goes on which is temporarily imperfect. I cannot allow one vacillation in the vibratory action of the atmosphere in, through, and around the earth. You have come far along life's path, so that you should learn to control your atmosphere personally, emotionally stable, mentally alert, etherically pure, and physically charged with whatever amount of light is necessary to expand the perfection of God through you, and filling that atmosphere with the warmth of love, with the power to direct the currents of energy wheresoever, and not allow them to enter into your personal atmosphere. This is a dictation from beloved mighty Thor from Friendship with the Gods. So Thor is the director of the energies of the air currents, and he's the divine complement of beloved Lady Aries. And so they govern the activities of the air and the air currents and direct the sylphs. And he says, I speak in the name and by the powers of the energies of the air currents, which I, Thor, send north and east, south and west, carrying moisture, carrying warmth, and all the activities of a constructive nature through the sylphs of the air. I, Thor, am never still. Those beings, the mighty sylphs, who work with beloved Aries and myself, have some of them grown to gigantic proportions. Beloved ones, if I should release the sylphs of the air, who throughout the ages have absorbed the human creations of the people of this earth, until you had developed an affinity with them, think you the condition of the air element, as these sylphs uncontrolled by myself and Lady Aries, should they vent their wrath on all who have antagonized them through the ages? Therefore we are obeying the divine edict and holding in check each member of the directors of the kingdom of the beings who serve under us, until the various little ones and big ones too, who represent the elemental kingdom, can find real love and affinity for mankind. Although in picturization, mankind have distorted the expression of myself, it is true that I am the pressure which moves the very atmosphere created by beloved Aries, and in the moving of that atmosphere, keeping it circling round and round this planet Earth. And there is opportunity without limit for the alert Chela to understand and cooperate with me and beloved Aries and the sylphs. In doing what? In seeing that where there are mass pressures of humanly created substance, that the power of Aries and Thor are yours to invoke, and to move those pressures out perhaps into the sea, where they can be transmuted and then carried by Helios and Vesta into the sun for repolarization, and no harm can be done to the peoples of Earth and those who are on its continental surface. I have never been the cause of a cyclone or a tornado. which should be self-evident to the thinking mind. But the sylphs of the air, like human beings and imprisoned angels, have free will to a certain extent. They gather, just as disgruntled human beings do, in certain vortices, where they build up through unpleasant feelings and thoughts and conversations, which is evident to me, though perhaps not to you, a vortex which becomes the eye of a hurricane, a cyclone, a tornado. Then that energy following a track causes destruction. You all know one of those mighty vortices is in the Caribbean, and there I have established a luminous presence of the Elohim of peace to arrest as much as possible of the turbulence of the air element. Air can be your servant. It was the servant of the peoples of old. Air filled the sails of the early boats which came to your great country America. Air is the life which you breathe in, by which you live. Or the activity of the air element, uncontrolled, can be your master. For without air, your physical vehicles would perish. But it is the allowing of the inhalation and the exhalation of air which is purified within every 24 hours by special beings belonging to our divine court, that you have the use of the power of drawing the breath, holding it, expanding it, and blessing it as you send it forth to some other part of life. Now many people, much of life, draw that energy in from the air currents, utilize it to sustain themselves on the surface of the earth, but they release only that which is pollution into the atmosphere, instead of a blessing to life. There again you have the activity of the perfect and rhythmic breath, allowing in our gift of air, absorbing it within you, letting it expand through you, filling and vitalizing your vehicles with its essence, and then, as it passes from your bodies, blessing it and sending it forth with a God gift and benediction to some other part of life.